I'm Scenic, and this is the Scenic Route, a space where I talk honestly about life, growth, and navigating change as a mature woman. Welcome to all that are listening. Whether you know me or you don't, I want to welcome you. Enjoy the episode.
I've been walking my own road, learning truth I already knew. Real talk, real soul, every step's a soft life move. This is a scenic route where the heart breaks through.
Welcome to the first episode of Scenic Route. I am here to take you on my route, my journey. It's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? So this is the deal. I've been pondering over and over on how to do this episode. Everything was me trying to do everything, right? So I'm just going to talk to you. We're just having a conversation. The reason I'm starting this podcast, it isn't to tell my whole story. It's to create a space where women don't have to pretend they're fine when they're still healing. Let me tell you about me. I am a woman that is in her 50s, which you will not usually hear me say, but I'm going to say it today. I am in my 50s, and I've encountered a lot of things in life. And what I stopped to think about is I wish there was someone there for me in my younger years that could have educated me, that could have talked me through things, didn't judge me, understood me, and wanted to see me do well. I couldn't go to my mother because there was this religious thing. She had a faith and certain things were cut and dry. And that's the things that we learn coming up. But what I learned later in life is she's human too. And she doesn't know what to do. And she thought she was doing the best she could with me as I did with my children. I understood that later. In the beginning, it helped form who I was. So I became this very opinionated young lady. I wanted to live free. I wasn't going to be bound by any restraints or any restrictions. I just wasn't. I was not going to do it. I lived a life of a perfectionist, though, which kind of conflicted with some of that, too. I had all these morals and ethics, but still, once again, I wasn't going to live by what the faith took from me. So I didn't have many people to talk to. You either had the people who were your friends who didn't know anything, right? They knew everything but knew nothing. But then on the other hand, you had your cousins or whoever. And I had this one cousin I really looked up to, but she was too busy doing her to even look back at me. And so I always felt like I was alone. Growing up, we are told as young Black women how we should act, how we should be, what we should be. And it's all because of the perception of others. I am supposed to be strong. I am supposed to not cry. I am supposed to be seen a certain way, heard and not heard at the same time. And that's how we grow up, right? We're told that we are supposed to present a certain face to people. We are supposed to be these strong people, but the whole time we're breaking down on the inside. And what I realized about myself as a kid is that I grew up angry at that point because I couldn't share my emotions the way I wanted to. And I get that, but it gets tiresome to put on a face. And when you put on a face regularly, you lose your face. So I grew up that way, and I was trying to be strong and trying to be smart. And then I have my moments where I'm being funny. But I tried to be everything that I was taught to be, but not who I really was. So I remember growing up buying these little self-help books to help myself, right? I'm like, okay. And my first book was by Tina Yothers, the girl from Family Ties, because I'm really showing my age. And so I love that book. I highlighted in it. I was the first person to make the first audio book. I would read from the pages onto a tape recorder of myself. And every day I would listen to what I read. I would read that book constantly. I think I wore the pages out of that book. And I loved it. I love self-help because it made me feel better about myself. It made me feel like I was understanding myself a little more. It made me feel that I had somebody that I can identify with, even though she wasn't the same race, but it's still, she understood my struggle. I wish that I had somebody around. I listened to a lot of Jazz Turner. I listened to a lot of Haley Gamba, and that's today, of course. I wish they were there when I was younger, but I can't stop listening to them because I wish they were there when I was younger. I was going through the identity thing, and I wanted to be this perfect woman for these men, and I wanted them to love me so much. But what I failed to realize, I didn't love me. I was trying to fit what they wanted as I did as a child. It was always me trying to fit whatever image somebody thought I should have. So I tried to be beautiful. I tried to be poised. I tried to be sexy. I tried to be desirable. And there's this saying, you'll never be right for the wrong person. And I realized I couldn't be. So I kept trying, allowing certain things and wanting them to stay, and I would put up with anything, absolutely anything. We navigate through life a lot of the times and we think we're doing what we're living, but what we're doing is existing. However, at some point, I found my footing. I had already been the person that you needed me to be, that you wanted me to be, that you asked me to be. And I noticed that nothing I could be would ever be good enough. So I decided that I was going to do things my way at this point. We'll fast forward. I wanted to be a better person. I was tired of being angry. I was tired of being hurt. I was tired of not being the best me I can be. I wanted to be the person that I was supposed to be, who I was meant to be. So I decided to be me. I was in this small little town of Red Wing, Minnesota. Loved it, still love it to this day. And while I was sitting there and dealing with me head on, I had to pick apart all the things of my life. It was painful and it was new. I thought about what my children had seen from my relationships, the things I've passed on to them, and me trying to be this excellent mother. And in some ways, I did things over the top. And in other ways, I felt like I could be really lax because of my childhood. So I took my childhood pain and trauma and I turned it into mothering. And the mothering part, I didn't do what I thought I did. Then I had to analyze the fact that I am a perfectionist, and that's part of the problem as well. And that comes from all the holding back emotions and holding back who I am. And then I was always starting over. If it wasn't perfect, if it wasn't right, I had to start over. If it wasn't this, if it wasn't that. And I got into this pattern of starting over and not just building. I always looked for a reason to start over because I always wanted it so right. And just like in this, it's not always right. And I've realized that I had this whole setup in my head and I had all these things and I worked out every single thing. And then the moment that it doesn't give me what I need, I start over, or I get so upset because I can't fail. And the other day I was listening to Steve Harvey and he was talking about failure. And he said he's failed more than so many people. He couldn't even count. Like it was just a insurmountable amount of failures. And so I was saying to myself, how does he pick himself up each time and do it over and over and over again? And then I had to stop and think. He talks about God a lot in the support system. So I'm thankful for my support system. I'm thankful for my children, my husband. I'm thankful for my mother because we've come a long way my growth and helped with her growth, and we've both changed. My children are still experiencing change because, once again, when we give them our generational trauma and curses, we give them a gift that's not easy to shake also. And the thing is, we are so quick to press everything down and keep it moving. We don't understand. Sometimes we're rolling over people. I'm grateful for the people in my life, such as people that I call my friends and people that I call my acquaintances. I'm thankful for you who are listening to me. That's all for today. Thanks for spending time with me here on Nykk Route. Take care of yourself. I'll meet you back here next time. If you're someone who's tired of starting over, this space is for you.
Yeah, welcome to this Nykk Route.
I also want to tell you about something I created called the Intentional Pause. It's a digital journal designed for the moments when you know something is shifting, but you're not ready to rush clarity. There are no steps to follow, no goals to complete, just thoughtful prompts, gentle grounding lines, and a space to reflect without pressure. If you've been feeling the urge to start over, this journal is an alternative, a place to pause, to stay. You can find it linked in the show notes.